business started back in 2009. I was working in my family business with my dad. We were manufacturing kitchens and bathroom furniture. And I always had a passion for websites and computers, and decided I wanted to try my hand at making my own website. So I was self-taught watching YouTube tutorial videos and learned how to build an e-commerce website on a platform called OS Commerce. And the website was launched back in June 2009. We travelled around various trade shows around Ireland exhibiting the products, and I guess the plan in those days was to have an e-commerce only business, so no showrooms. And obviously that changed with the addition of showrooms fairly early on. I guess a few that kind of stick in my mind would be the opening of our first showroom in Belfast, which, although today our showroom in Duncrew is the smallest out of all the branches we have, when we opened it at the time we were absolutely delighted and really very proud of the showroom that we had opened. I think also the opening of the showroom down in Dublin sticks out as a big milestone, kind of entering into a new territory and a new town, and also at that time was the largest showroom that we had, so it was a big undertaking. And I think in more recent times the launch of the Bathshack brand and the introduction of tiles through all our branches. In the early days we didn't touch tiles at all. And seeing that going from strength to strength and tiles becoming a much bigger part of our business and our product offering is one that sticks out and one that I'm really proud of. We haven't been short on challenges the last few years, and I guess more recently COVID was a massive challenge that we had to overcome operationally as a business in terms of how we were able to stay afloat and succeed through that period. But also more recently things like container shortages, and then obviously the issues in the Suez Canal and how that affected supply chain. And I guess the learnings from all of that is just to expect the unexpected and to remain in a place where you can react to the unexpected and you can change direction fairly quickly. And although we continue to grow and become a bigger company, we still need to remain nimble and small and agile, that depending on what gets thrown at us, that we're able to navigate it. Our customers have always been and remain to be the most important part of our business. Without them, we don't have a business, and there's no reason for us to be here without customers. And I'm really proud and fortunate that a lot of the customers that we had back in 2009 we still have and still service, particularly some of our contract customers and larger building contractors. And those guys remain to be, our biggest advocates. They're the guys that are spreading the name and suggesting others to come to us. We respect that, and we try to repay that in terms of sponsorship of various local sports team and sponsorship of various different charities and different initiatives through the business, where we try to raise meaningful amounts of money for those charities in an effort to repay back into the local communities. One of the things that sticks out in my mind is the constant evolution now of new product designs, and just how fast new designs and new trends are coming to market, and also the sheer amount of choice there is out there now. I mean, that's certainly something that just seems to keep growing and growing, especially with the addition of new brassware colours and new shower enclosure colours, and even now new colours in sanitary ware. Where even back 15 years ago, if it wasn't white, no one was putting it in. And I think from our perspective, constant visiting of trade shows across the world, staying ahead of those trends and being able to know what's on the horizon, and also the good relationships we've built with manufacturers and being able to really keep close with them in terms of changing direction quite quickly, rather than having to react to, I guess, what's maybe coming down the line like some of our competitors may do. Also having the manufacturing capabilities that we do have around furniture and the spraying of baths and manufacturing of whirlpools and things like that allows us to trial the market as well with smaller quantities. So rather than having to maybe commit to large volumes for something that maybe might not have the traction that you would hope. So I think being able to stay quite agile in that respect allows us to service customers with stuff that's really bang on trend. It doesn't feel like 15 years, and it feels like we've got loads more still to achieve. From my perspective, we're just not done. We've our sights set on lots more locations throughout Ireland that we'd like to open showrooms. Our website continues to evolve in terms of technology and how we can provide a better offering to our customers and a more interactive website. And we remain very fixed on how to improve our customer service offering and our delivery service and try and reach more areas across Ireland and GB just by being better known and getting our name out there further. So yeah, roll on.
We started in a small chicken shed. It's about 800 square foot, so kind of a big growth now. We've over 100,000 square foot in one main location based in Antrim town, so it's been a big change from where we started to what we have now. Lots changed in between times as well, from how we actually pick to how we make our deliveries and that as well. Probably two major ones, the biggest one being the introduction of a new warehouse management system, which we put in about 3 years ago. Does a full control of all our stock and helps with our buying, but also the big part of it is it's scanning and picking. So our guys operate with a handheld scanner which they use to go and do the pick. So instead of the old way was paper picking, the guys now operate with a handheld scanner, which you can see from a lot of our racking. We've barcodes, so every location they go to, they scan a barcode and then they scan the product, which is a massive help with an accuracy of the product that we're picking. It also means it's very easy for new people coming into the business to get trained up. You don't have to have a massive product knowledge knowing the box you're looking for. It's very much about making sure you're scanning the right product and scanning the right barcode, which helps a lot with the efficiency of picking as well. The second probably innovation we had within the warehouse was adding to our route planning software. So not only with operating a larger warehouse, we increased our fleet of vehicles. So we used to operate a fleet of just 2 vans. We then, over the last number of years, have increased that to over 30 vehicles. But within that, allowing us to deliver to every customer across Ireland, we needed to implement an initiative of software to help plan on the routes. So we linked with a company called SmartRoutes, who helped us design an easy to use route planning software, which allows us to get accurate deliveries to our customers in the quickest way possible. Probably one of the biggest challenges we faced over the last number of years was for a short time, for about 2.5 years, we outsourced our warehousing. So it was managed by a third-party company. So kind of made the decision through a growth spurt that maybe we couldn't find the right the right size of warehouse for ourselves. So we decided we would hand it off. Done that for a number of years, but soon came to realise actually it was suited better back in-house and under our own control. So we had made the decision to move to this premises in its first instance, which was about 40,000 square foot of warehousing space. But the biggest challenge for us was making that move of all the stock without actually any disruption to our customers and any disruption to our service. So over a 3-week period, we moved about 50 lorry loads of stock to here. Kept dispatching between times as it was moving. We actually only had 1 day of closure in that whole period, which allowed us to do a stock take, but the whole way through we were managing to facilitate all our customers' orders as well as move stock and get the new warehouse up and running, which also incorporated the implementation of the new warehouse picking system as well. It was a big challenge, but we managed to get over it. Probably actually, I think just seeing how we've been able to grow especially over the last 5 or 6 years, been the big change of moving to our own warehouse again from the third-party company, and then just seeing that growing. As I say, when we moved, we started off with 40,000 square foot, but within a quick turnaround, we ended up with just over 100,000 that we have now. With that as well was the increase of vehicles. It was a big challenge being able to move from using third-party couriers to make our deliveries to the end customer, to deciding to do it on our own fleet. But we were able to overcome that and say now we cover all of Ireland every day. We have 30 vans, majority of them on the road every single day, which allows us to cover the whole of Ireland and actually able to do that service, which a lot of our competitors can't offer. So I think it's been quite a success, but it's something that we constantly are growing on and trying to improve. We've quite a solid team around us as well. It doesn't all happen just through the systems, it's the people we have in the warehouse that makes it happen too. And we have a great team, from our team leaders down to our operatives, that make the picking and packing of our products and taking that care every step of the way to ensure we get the product to the customer in the best possible way.
I'm Ryan Dunlop and I'm Director of Business Development, so it's a varied role. So between developing trade customers, down into obviously when we're doing a new showroom and all that kind of stuff, I usually am involved in the design and setup of that. Basically any of our revenue streams, I'm involved at some point in those, so definitely a varied role. We've We've went from strength to strength of space the last number of years, so we're now at 9, which the 9th will be opening now next week. We've had 2 clearance outlets as well, which are currently opened. And the biggest challenge generally is staff, because you're tending to go into a new area, so it's somewhere different. So it's always a bit of a challenge bringing in new staff and things like that. Finding the right locations. We're pretty particular about certain things in locations, so find the right location and then obviously agreeing terms, all that kind of stuff. We naturally like to do everything at 100 miles an hour, so these things are a bit frustrating for us whenever it takes time, but it's worth waiting for because you know it's going to be the right decision. After that, it's actually getting the places fitted out. We have a good team around us now that whenever we are opening a showroom, we have guys to fit out, we have people to do the market, and we have every end of it sorted. So although there's lots to happen, it all just always seems to knit together nice and neat. They're enjoyable to do them. Stressful but enjoyable. So well, people contact us through our website, through Facebook, all these kind of channels to see if we have showrooms in certain areas. That's usually how we can highlight that there's a need for it. There's other factors come into line where obviously if it's an area that we don't really have anything, but we can see continued growth in web traffic and things like that, then we understand that there's probably a necessity for it. Well, I suppose when I started the business, I started in sales, but I've got to work on every end of it, from customer service to the warehouse. So you know every part, and because of that, then you have a great understanding of the company. The other big thing for me is the relationships that we've made. So I have some of my best friends work in the business. I've got to know them from becoming part of the business. There always has been, there always hopefully will maintain to be a family ethos. Like we have fun, but we get the work done too, and it's a nice place to work. Well, I think so anyway.
I'm Paul Kirkwood. I'm Chief Operating Officer at Bathshack. I've been here 7 years. I came in as Warehouse and Distribution Manager, moved through to Head of Supply Chain, and then became a Director in January of this year. Growth for Bathshack has been front and foremost for all the time that I've been with the company. I look back 7 years ago and it's a completely different game that we're involved with now. At that point, I think there was about 25 people maybe in the company, and we're up now to about 120 something. So certainly growth has been a major part of my time in Bathshack. One of the things we want to do is continue to drive brand awareness for the company, so that everybody throughout Ireland and going into the UK know who Bathshack are and how to find us and how to buy our product. We're really proud of our product offering and our mix of quality and price. So for us really it's about trying to get the right model that gives growth within showrooms and growth within web in particular, and get that information out and brand awareness growing within the UK and Ireland. Well, the first 15 years have seen massive growth, and I suppose I'm excited to see what happens now, how much growth we go for in the next 15 years. The dynamic of managing a team at 120 people is going to be very different compared to if it's 250 people, and the funding that's required for that is going to be very different. So it's a different game, and we need to. I'm excited to see where that goes and whether or not we end up very much an Irish company, or whether we take more footsteps in the UK and try and go head to head with some of the other guys over there. You know, Bathshack, there's something different happening every day, and I don't think anyone's ever asked me how you're busy at the minute, and I've said no. We've always been flat out busy, and so the growth within the company has been huge. So individual moments, so it's been more a case of every day something different, and it's foot to the floor every single day and see how much we can push things forward. So it's a fast and exciting company to work with. I've really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the next batch of years. I mentioned it's a fast-paced environment, and the company are very driven, and I think that the company are people-focused now as well. I think we put a lot of time and effort into actually bringing younger people on and developing them. But as long as the enthusiasm and drive's there, I think anybody coming here will pick up on the energy within the company. And I think things like our social media campaigns and things show a bit of the feel around the company. There is a, there's a feel. This is not some big corporate entity. This is a family-run business, and there's fun around the company. And yeah, I would recommend it to anybody. It's a good place to work.